Body temperature must be measured before leaving the house. If the fever is 37.3 degrees Celsius and above, the relevant manager should be informed. The person must isolate himself and refer to the closest healthcare institution by wearing a mask. If the fever is below 37.3 degrees Celsius, the person must leave the house by wearing a mask. The mask must cover the mouth and the nose completely. While wearing a mask, you should not touch its outer and inner surfaces. Touching face with the hands must be avoided. Beard can cause a leakage in mask use. If you are going to work by vehicle, frequently touched surfaces must be disinfected by the driver before each use. If the person is traveling with more than one person, no more than 2 people should get into the vehicle. The other person must be seated on the right back seat, and everyone should wear a mask. Natural ventilation should be preferred instead of turning on the air conditioning. If you are going to work with a staff shuttle, social distancing rule of 1.5 meters must be observed during waiting, getting in and out. A hand antiseptic must be available in the shuttles and used while getting in the shuttle. Everyone must wear a mask and sit on the numbered seat, which is previously designated for him. The seating list should be created according to the set number, and the list should be hung visible in the shuttle. Food and drink should not be consumed, and you should remain unspoken unless necessary. The inner air circulation switch of the air conditioning should be turned off. If you are going to work by public transport, a mask must always be worn, and it should be seated by considering the social distancing rule of 1.5 meters with other passengers. Body temperature must be measured at all entry points of the workplace. Those who have a fever of 37.3 degrees Celsius and above must not admitted to the workplace and sent to the closest healthcare institution with a mask on. If the person has a fever below 37.3 degrees Celsius, he must enter the workplace with a mask on. Whenever possible, stairs should be used instead of elevators. It should be considered to use the right side of the stairs when going up and down. If using an elevator is inevitable, the locations where people will stand must be marked on the elevator's floor by considering the social distancing rule of 1.5 meters, and the people should get in the elevator at its capacity of 1 to 3. Fingerprint scanning systems should be removed. At the entries through the turnstile, the cards should be scanned without being touched the scanning devices. Full-height turnstiles must be opened by pushing with elbow or body. Before starting work, hands should be washed with soap and water for 20 seconds, or hand antiseptic should be used. Then the materials, such as the desk, computer, keyboard, phone, pen, etc., should be cleaned with disinfectant, and their use should be personal. Hand antiseptic should be available at the entries of the dressing room, and they must be entered in order by considering the social distancing rule of 1.5 meters. A disinfectant pool should be put at the entries to the dressing rooms for the shoes. The windows should be kept open, and natural ventilation must be ensured. Tables should be arranged in a way to leave at least 1.5 meter distance between them. If people are sitting face to face, the separators made of plexiglass should be placed. Meetings and training should be organized as teleconferences or video conferences whenever possible. After using copier and printer, hand antiseptic should be used. It should be worked in work areas such as storages, production area, etc. by considering the social distancing rule of 1.5 meters. If this fails to be ensured, face shields must be worn. All common use work equipment and hand tools should be disinfected with every user change. You should go to the dining hall at designated times. Before entering the dining hall, the mask should be taken off and thrown into the waste bin. Hands should be washed with soap and water for 20 seconds, or hand antiseptic should be used. Since the masks were taken off, the social distancing rule of 1.5 meters must be considered at the food line and seating order. Materials to be commonly used, such as salad bars, salt and pepper shaker, and pitchers, should be removed. These needs should be supplied with single-use materials. Since the mask will be taken off while smoking, the social distancing rule of 1.5 meters must be considered. Work clothes should be taken off in the dressing room and put into a closed bag and taken to home for being washed. When entering the house, the clothes must be taken off and washed. You should take a bath for your personal hygiene. When removing the mask, it must be taken off around the ears without touching its front side, and it must be thrown into a waste bin. Then hands should be washed with water and soap, or hand antiseptic should be used. Unless necessary, all travel should be cancelled or reduced. A priority should be given to the use of the company vehicle on domestic travels that cannot be cancelled. Those returning from abroad should remain in quarantine for 14 days on international travels that cannot be cancelled. Ilk Dost JHSU wishes a healthy working life.